All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for more Fire Force. I'm feeling fired up today. I really am. I woke up, beautiful day, saw some new gameplay of Film Red Shanks for Power Warriors 4. I'm happy. I'm just glad to be alive, really, in order for me to, so I can do what I love to do. But let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another live reading of Fire Force. Today, we are going to be reading volume 16 of the series, titled The Gray of Haijima. Now, let me go ahead and say this. Tomorrow will be the halfway mark for this series, because there's 34 volumes. 17 plus 17 is 34. So, tomorrow's reading will be the halfway mark of this series that I've been doing as I'm reading Fire Force. But Holster, good to see you as always. Let's go ahead and begin. Summary! To learn the connection between the Holy Soul Temple and the Evangelists, Benimaru and Joker storm the temple's curia, where they destroy the Holy Soul's shadow, the secret death squad that lurked in the Nether. Yo, Byron, it's good to see you. Then they met Company 1's Captain Burns, who gives them the diary written by the wife of the religion's founder. Burns says the Holy Soul Temple may have been created by something non-human. Meanwhile, Licht confesses that he is a spy, and at his suggestions, Shinra and the rest of Company 8 embark on an investigation of Haijima Industries' power development facility, where children are being abused. There they find Kurono, the maddest pyromaniac of all. So, today's chapters will be chapters 133 all the way down to 141. Let's begin. My Roman numerals are getting better. They're getting better because I can instantly tell. And we have Nataku and Korono. And they're just in this room starting off. There's a sneeze that's just on my nose, and I gotta get it out. Okay, we're good. No, there's another one, but it's lurking. But we have Korono and Nataku. So this makes his third combat test. I know this specimen was an unexpected bonus after the incident. But don't break him, okay? Chapter 131, The Wicked Overdog. And we're in this big, massive testing room with Nataku and Korono. Come on, you're doing another experiment with Uncle Death today. And Korono is standing there, and he's a large, lanky, built, slightly built man, but his right arm looks like it's covered in just charred black. And he has on this formal suit, just a regular dress shirt, tie, and a belt buckle that has basically a skull on it. Uncle Death? When do I get to go home? Don't you see my Grim Reaper mark? You can't go home until you die. And this is going to be our third test, so it's about time I started fighting for real. If you don't get your head in the game, Nataku-kun, you might be going home as a corpse. I want you to show me your real powers. And then Nataku suddenly sees Rekka in front of him. Fire! If anyone can do it, you can! Yes, you can! After all, you were chosen by the bug! Let's show them your hot blood! Let's show them your hot fury! I've got the power! And then Nataku launches at Korono. That's right! Fire! But Korono just easily bats him aside. Fire! Fire! Yeah! And then all of a sudden, Nataku's powers start to flare up as we see, because Nataku has this cloak that's over this cloak that is more heavy on the right side than it is on the left side. More cloaky, more fuller on the right side than it is on the left side. I said left side instead of right side, didn't I? But it's over his right side, and we see what looks to be fire claws suddenly erupt from it. But not too much where we can see it in great detail. And then we have Rekka literally just in his mind going, "You need guts! You need fight! All right! You're on fire! You can do it! Take a deep breath. Now that's the spirit! Yeah! From the pit of your stomach! Yeah! Give more! More! Yeah! Can you do it? Of course you can! Let's hear you roar! Ah! And this is Nataku, who's just giving in to this hallucination of Rekka. Flame output increasing. Still not detecting an Adola burst. His mental state is destabilizing. Is it PTSD from when he got his powers? What do we do? Should we stop it? They say Shinra Kusakabe's Adola burst awakened on the field and during combat training. Continue the test. If we break him, that's that. It would be a shame, though. Showing you that they really don't care about the lives of the children just as long as they can activate an Adola burst, which they missed out on because Shinra escaped. Not escaped. Since Shinra escaped. But then Nataku is kicked right in his stomach by Kurono and sent flying in the other direction. And while that happens, Kurono is right in the same flight pattern of Nataku and just backhands him with that same black hand that he has. And then Kurono standing over him and dragging him up. Get up. We're not finished yet. You feel horrible for this kid already and we don't even know much about him? Exactly. They're treating him as a guinea pig. And what's worse is that he can actually protest, but they won't listen because they care more about this Adola burst than they do this kid's own life. Continue the test. If he breaks, then that's that. So casual, like, if we break him while we try to get an Adola burst out of him, oh well. Already I don't like Haijima. I mean, I didn't like him before, but you know. Especially when they put those weird shoes on Shinra's feet. And he had to walk that way for who knows how many years? Feet constantly cold. Surprised the dude didn't get frostbite. But, Kurono, get up. We're not finished yet. Uncle Death has to do this too. It's my job. I need you to help me do my job. And then as it continues on, Kurono just basically beating on him. To make things worse, Shinra didn't even escape. They let him go. Exactly. Shinra, well, yeah, actually, I didn't say when Shinra escaped. I meant say when Shinra got out. When he left, he just straight up left. They let him go. They didn't know that he would later have an Adola burst. So now they're just going through these paces for all these children, trying to replicate an Adola burst simply because they missed out on Shinra. But we get to the scientist. I don't know how he does it. It's hard enough just watching. From what I hear, it's his dream job. He's got the skill to make a name for himself out in the field, but apparently he requested to be here. Also, he could torture small children. And this is Kurono he's talking about. They're talking about. His tephrosis has turned his right hand into charcoal, but that's not enough to stop him. He wants more destruction. All right. I forgot. His hand looks this way because tephrosis happens when a pyrokinetic overuses their powers to the point of overheating, and they still keep using it until their body starts to charcoal out. Apparently, Kurono is an individual who didn't know when to stop, and his whole right arm just got tephroside. He's a total lunatic. But he has real talent. They say he could give even Company 7's captain a run for his money. Comparing him to Benimaru? Okay. That's enough, Kurono. You can stop now. As he's just kicking Nataku. And then Nataku is being taken away on a gurney, while Kurono wraps up his black arm again. Thanks for your help, Kurono. Man, I don't know how you do it. Doesn't it bother you that you're beating up on kids? I like picking on the weak. If the other guy's weak, I don't have to worry about getting hurt. Is that why you're so agreeable and obedient with us grown-ups? And then, Kurono, without even batting an eye, starts to choke out this one scientist dude, just immediately. I am so sick of all the noise that comes out of your mouth. Don't you get it? You are one of the weak, and I am fantastically good at crushing the weak. And while he's still being choked, the other scientist, whose eyes are, it's not cross-eyed. What's the opposite of cross-eyed? This dude's eyes are going in opposite directions as he goes, sorry, he just doesn't understand. And then Kurono looks looks at him because he put his hand on his shoulders, all like, why are you touching me? Oops, pardon me. And then Kurono walks away. I hear Shinra Kusakabe is coming to the facility. I will be his partner for the experiment, I assume. He is so deliciously weak. And then it cuts to the town, while Shinra and Lich are traveling by taxi to Haijima. Thanks for coming with me, Shinra.
Don't worry about it. When we were talking about the facility, I remembered someone. He was there to be treated for tephrosis. I still remember just how evil he was.
And we get a flashback as we see Shinra being led by a scientist back then with those same apparatuses he had on his legs. And then as he's walking past a pane of glass, something hits it, and it's Kurono, who's in a straitjacket, being led away by security. It's not fair you guys get all the fun. Let me play too. I want to play with the brats. The fact that this man was being led away in a straitjacket, and that's what Shinra remembers, that's a concern. But that's the end of chapter 131. 133. 133. Sorry. That's the end of chapter 133, onwards to chapter 134. The Truth of the Sandbox. I really do hope I didn't say, like, we only gonna get chapters 131. I'm pretty sure I said 133 at first, all the way down to 141. Okay, that's where I got it confused. My bad. Haijima Industries, power development facility. And we have Licht and Shinra. Well, we're here. Well, here we are. Remind you of home?
Wait, was this really it?
Oh, right. From what I hear, they relocate the lab regularly to keep their research hidden.
Which just goes to show how morally wrong that research is.
Ozzy! What's going on? Good to see you, man. We are on volume 16, and we are on chapter 1. I think you're good, no worries. Thank you, Holster. We are on chapters 134. We got chapters all the way up to 141, and then tomorrow will be the halfway mark of my entire Fire Force series.
Wait, was this really it?
Oh, right. From what I hear, they relocate the lab regularly to keep their research hidden.
Which just goes to show how morally wrong that research is. Let's go!
Victor Licht, head of research at the Applied Combustion Science Lab. Yes, I heard you were coming. And a security guard leads them. And...
So, have you noticed? It's been for a while now.
Yes. Well, it seems security is keeping a close eye on us. Because it shows security guards in multiple locations. Definitely has that we're not getting out of here alive vibe. And the thing is, Lick kind of says this within earshot of the security guard. You mentioned that man, Kurono. I've heard stories about him. Company 7's Captain Shinmon is known as the toughest pyrokinetic, but this Kurono is said to be the maddest pyrokinetic. And it shows an image of Kurono as if his whole body is disintegrating and crumbling into ash, as well as the entire area around him. If he's as wicked as the rumors say, then we might find him here. In any case, I'm excited for this opportunity to observe such a shady facility. And the security guard isn't saying anything, even though Licht is blatantly saying this out loud. Because Shinra and Licht, they already know that this is a trap. We know it's a trap.
Should you really say that in front of the security guard?
Well, they're going to kill me anyway.
I won't let them.
After being out of work for 10 months, finally got a call back and you'll be starting tomorrow. Never when you want, but always on time. Ozzy, I'm happy for you. I really am. I'm so happy for you. I'm proud of you and I'm happy for you. Your patience has paid off. I'm happy for you, man. I really am.
I won't let them. I promise to keep you safe. You may be a Haijima spy, but you've helped us the whole time you've been on the team. Company 8 absolutely needs you, Inspector Licht.
And then Licht just kind of glances at Shinra. Aw, I'm flattered. I think I can die happy now.
No dying.
Listen to him talk, Joker. I just might leave you for Company 8. Joker, I couldn't let you be the only one risking your life. I wrote that idiotic report on purpose. I wanted to disturb Haijima's top ranks, so I could get some solid dirt on them. To that end, I'm willing to take advantage of the goodwill of Shinra and his company in order to find out the truth. And then a scientist walks up to Licht and company. We've been expecting you. Welcome to our power development facility. The children will be happy to see you.
You put those kids through hell and then you have the nerve to say they'll be happy?
I see. You're eager to meet them then. And the fact that this scientist just says it with a smile, like, progress, progress, who cares if a couple of children get hurt? I'll kidnap 1,000 children before I let this company die. I'm getting Monsters, Inc. flashbacks already. And then we have someone messing with like a mechanical puppet in front of these kids. And it's a lady who's playing with this puppet in front of these kids. As you can see, we look after children who haven't yet learned how to use their powers.
We requested an interview with the boy who was taken into custody after the Reika Hoshimiya incident, but we were told our request wouldn't be approved. I'd like to see how he's doing if that's possible.
Oh, you mean Nataku-kun? He's a special case, so he's not at this facility. And Shinra's silent as they continue to walk through the halls. And then something hits Shinra.
A Dololink?
Help me! Somebody help me! I want to go home! And Shinra is in the Adola world, and he sees Nataku.
Are you?
And then in the real world, Shinra? Oh, this lady creeps me out, not as much as the others who work here, but she's creepy? Yes. Joker is his name, but joking's not his game. Gotta love those rhymes. Is Shinra?
Yes. I had an Dololink. Not at this facility, my behind. He's here, all right. They're definitely hiding something. If we want to find out what it is, we better play along for a while.
And then we have the same lady who was playing with the puppets. She glances over to where Licht and Shinra are, and she makes her puppet kind of fly up in the air. Because it makes a point, the volume makes a point to zoom in on her, like have her like almost full body displayed here. But now we're in a big empty room, and it's just Shinra, with the scientists along with Licht going, "Thank you for allowing us to observe your Dola burst today, Fire Soldier Kusakabe. This will be a combat-style test. Will that be alright?"
It's a good idea to help with their experiments. If they can get the data they want from me, they might start treating the kids better.
And then Shinra's just looking around the room.
This cold, lifeless room. It freezes me to my very soul. It makes me feel like a lab rat. All my humanity fades away, until only my deranged habit remains.
Then a door opens up, and Shinra notices. I look forward to working with you today. Let's make this experiment a fun one. As Kurono walks into the scene. And then Shinra just remembers the weird face that Kurono gave him when he was at the facility originally.
I'll never forget those eyes. The way he stares at his prey. So he was here.
I remember you. I saw you a few times when you still lived here. I've always wanted to play with you. Now you've gone and grown up. As he starts to take the bandages off of his right arm. I wanted to gobble you up when you were still scrawny and pale. Why didn't they let me get you when you were just a child? And won't you look at that? You're almost as tall as I am. As Kurono gets very close to his face. Oh well, you still look weak though. And then Shinra just pushes Kurono. You push like a grown man. Why don't men ever stay weak? May I begin? Yes, you too, Kusakabe, if you would.
What a rotten jerk! I'm gonna knock him into next week!
And then as Kurono puts his hand up, he swings it.
That's a bad case of testosterone. Should he really be generating all this smoke?
As it shows Shinra engulfed in a whole bunch of smoke. Not fire, but smoke. And then there's an explosion that happens behind Shinra. There's an explosion that happens. Like, it's a boom, but not like a visual explosion. But there's an audible explosion. And then Shinra suddenly finds himself falling to his knees.
Huh?
Right hand eclipse. As it shows the final page of this chapter with Kurono just completely cloaked in smoke. as if drawn. And you know those pictures of Slenderman, like from the game? He looks like that. But that's the end of chapter 134. Onwards to chapter 135, Ashen Death. And then it just shows blood coming off of Shinra, because he's dripping blood right now.
What happened? He swung his fist, but it didn't hit me. It was just a puny little right-handed punch. Did I touch him at all? If anything, it was the smoke. At any rate, if I don't know what he did, I can't figure out how to fight it. I can't let him keep hitting me, but I have my speed. I'll get him with the rapid.
And Shinra prepares to use the rapid. And then he rushes Kudono, and as it looks like Shinra's about to kick him in the face, Kudono raises his hand faster than Shinra and knocks him away. Just right when Shinra's foot is right here. It's right here. You could smell the foot. That's how close it was to him. But Kudono just swats him away.
He stopped me? No, let's try that again.
And as he tries to rush Kudono again, he gets socked in the chin and knocked away by Kudono a second time. How can he fight Shinra-kun's rapid when he's never seen it before?
Can he see my moves? You're the one abusing all the kids, aren't you? I won't let you get away with it!
Let's see more of that Adola burst.
Shut up! You'll see it! Cause I'm gonna beat the crap out of everyone here! Even you guys hiding behind that glass!
How scary. And then it shows Kudono manipulating more smoke behind him.
So what's the deal with the black smoke?
Oh, it's no secret. Even if I told you, you probably still couldn't counter it. This smoke is linked to my 5 senses, and it picks up even the finest of vibrations. It's allowed me to react to your speed attack. Anyway, it's fun to throw kids around. They fly rather far. Would you like to give it a try? As he's manipulated the smoke to be like this big miasma with a skull for a head just oozing behind him.
What kind of a sick joke?
As he goes in and tries to kick Kudono, but Kudono blocks it again.
I'll keep attacking him so fast he doesn't have time to keep up.
And then it shows Shinra resorting to handstands and, gyro spins as he's constantly trying to fight Kudono. Yet Kudono keeps blocking every single blow.
Every time he spins, his firepower increases.
Excellent. Keep it up! Keep it up! And then when it looks like Shinra's about to get a lick in on Kudono, Kudono takes the attack like he blocks it, but then blasts Shinra with like a massive smoke. And then Shinra launches backwards, and then it shows Kudono reaching into the smoke itself. And then the smoke starts to take form, and it starts to get thinner and smaller.
The smoke is solidifying?
And Kudono has turned the smoke into tangible, physical kunai. And then it turns into smoke as it whizzes past Shinra and explodes and engulfs him and surprises him, which causes Kudono to zoom in towards Shinra, reach into the smoke again, and then slash Shinra with a knife made of smoke. Then he takes another one out and proceeds to slice Shinra again. This man is using smoke as solid objects and turn them into actual cleaving weapons. Eclipse Veil. And then he disappears into the smoke. Kudono disappears into this. He makes a smoke screen, disappears into the smoke, and then he's suddenly out of sight from Shinra, and he's suddenly behind him after having cut Shinra in multiple places.
Gah!
Surely I haven't worn you out yet. Not that I wouldn't love to have destroyed you by now. As he just turns his cutting tools into smoke again.
You compress the smoke to make weapons?
Still, the weaker you get, the more I want to keep playing. That's another grammar thing that's in this volume. Still, the weaker you get, the more I want to keep playing. Let's leave it at that, Kudono. We've got plenty of data now. And then Kurono then takes smoke and then launches the smoke to cover up the glass where the scientists are looking. He's completely blocked them in. Hey, what are you doing?
120. 130. The room's temperature is rising higher and higher.
Captain, we've seemed to have a bit of a problem. And this is Licht saying this. And then it's Shinra surrounded in the smoke as eyes are coming out of the smoke going, continue the experiment. This is going to be fun. And then we have someone running into the room going, we need you in the special care room. And it's the same dude with the, it's not cross-eyed. It's not lazy-eyed either. What's the term when eyes are looking in the opposite direction? But the same dude that tried to put his hand on Kurono's shoulder, it's, he runs in going, we need you in the special care room. Something's wrong with Nataku-san. Huh? And then the alarm is blaring off, and then it cuts to Nataku.
It's hot. My arm is hot.
We've confirmed an Adola burst! And Nataku's Adola burst is activated as he goes, fire! As we see the face of Rekka right behind him as well. So, yeah. Nataku's Adola burst is activated. And who knows what's about to happen. But that's the end of chapter 135. Onwards to chapter 136. Battle in enemy territory. And an alarm is going off. You got an Adola reading from Nataku-san? Son? Not san, not S-A-N, S-O-N. From Nataku-san in this special care room? Nataku-san? So you are keeping him here. That is a classified matter. We do not discuss it with outsiders. Derpy-eyed? I don't know. Cock-eyed! I think that's what it is. Thank you, Ozzy. Thank you. That's what it is. But they literally just confirmed that Nataku is here, even though they says like, yeah, he's probably in another facility. They literally just let it slip. And now the dude is trying to save face going, that's a classified matter. We do not discuss it with outsiders. Kurono! Stop the experiment!
Does this mean the Adola burst has awakened in the sixth pillar? Then was it Shinra's Adola burst that triggered it?
Hello. And it cuts to like a listening device that's under the lapel of Licht's coat.
Captain Obi, can you hear me? The situation has taken a turn.
And then Company 8 does not waste time in bursting through the front gate of Haijima Industries. Ah! What? Shinra and Licht are in trouble! Step on it, Vulcan! If anything happens to them, you'll pay, Haijima! And, you already know that Vulcan has a problem with Haijima overall, so he's got no problem with the property damage. But they just go speeding in. They just go speeding in with Vulcan going, this is war, mother lovers! He said that. He said that. A matchbox has crashed into the facility. We're trying to determine its affiliation.
That was fast. I haven't even told them anything yet.
They were waiting. They were waiting. But Licht again. And what Shinra said about like,
I won't let them. I promise to keep you safe.
Because Licht already knows that they're going to try and kill him.
If it's for their friends, they don't hesitate to put their lives on the line. That's what makes them Company 8. It's strange. Maybe I've been with them so long that it's rubbed off on me. Let me ride this wave too, then.
Kurono, the experiment is cancelled. Go help with Nataku. And then Licht just walks up right between them and slams the button that opens the door. What are you doing? Shinra, you don't have to help with the experiment anymore. Let's get out of here. And then Shinra sees the smoke escaping from the entryway. And then one scientist goes like, you? As he's preparing to punch Licht. But Licht, showing that he's actually got some fisticuffs, knocks the dude out in one punch. You? Pat! Just decks him. Just decks him with a short jab.
I may be a wimp, but I'm not gonna lose to any other wimps.
And he just pops his collar like, I may be weak, but I'm not gonna lose to you weaklings. Love Licht for that. And then security goes in. Grab him! But Shinra comes in and then proceeds to knock out both of the security guards that were going to go after Licht.
Licht-san!
You were right. Nataku-san is here. And it sounds like he's awakened to his Adola burst.
So they were hiding him from us. The cry for help in that Adola link was real. This time, Company 8 will take Natako-kun into our care.
Then it shows Kuruno, who sees that Shinra has left.
What is all this ruckus?
And it cuts to the scientist who got knocked out by Licht getting up and going, Company 8's broken in. We need you to guard Natako-kun.
The Fire Force. I hope they brought some weak soldiers with them. I'll make sure to handle the weak ones first.
He's not just pure brains, he's at least 5% power and 95% brains. And that 5% is a lot more than some of these other scientists have.
I'll make sure to handle the weak ones first.
But it cuts to Company 8 speeding in.
Where's Shinra and Licht? Vulcan, look up ahead.
And this is Hinawa. And they stop because we see that same little puppet. That same little puppet from earlier is in their path.
Hey, it's just a doll. I'll run it over.
But they try to run it over, and suddenly, this doll flips over the entire matchbox when they do. They try to run over it, and this small little puppet flips the entire vehicle over, shocking everyone. Whoa! And what I find unique about these panels is how, since they're being flipped upside down, the actual speech bubbles are inverted. Like the words are upside down. Them screaming, "Ah!" That's inverted. And then as they're flipping over, the speech is sideways. So I actually have to turn my head sideways in order to read out Vulcan going, launching spider wire. And he hits a button and wires shoot out from both sides of the matchbox, allowing the matchbox to right itself once more. And, get back on its wheels.
Yeah, is everybody okay?
And everyone has been jostled except for Arthur, who's just strangely sitting there. Strangely sitting in place as if he wasn't tossed around. Actually, Arthur was the only person who was in the matchbox. Yoda, good to see you. Arthur was the only person who was in the matchbox who was completely unfazed by them getting flipped around.
Is everybody okay?
But then the matchbox gets hit from the side. And it was powerful because it shows the inside of the matchbox and the dent from the impact. How am I? Great as always. Woke up, saw some new footage for Film Red Shanks for Pirate Warriors 4. Had a wonderful breakfast. And now I'm reading for all of you.
What is it now?
Goes Maki. And that same puppet is flying in the air, but then Tekyo flies in and knocks away this puppet thing.
Enemy unit detected. Engaging with Tekyo.
Don't tell me. That thing did it.
What do you mean?
That's what flipped the matchbox. But it's so tiny. How can it have that much power? Just what kind of generator is Haijima using?
And then Maki notices the wires coming from this puppet. Arthur is also the only one not injured. Exactly, Aryan. He's the only one not non-injured, and he's the only one completely unfazed.
Wait, look! Look where the cables are leading.
And they see the cables, and it's to the same lady who was playing with the kids earlier.
Uh-oh! What brings you all the way out here? I already have to babysit the children because Kurenokun is too scary for them. Now I have to teach the Fire Force a lesson too? Don't you see my angel belt buckle? I'm a nice lady.
Maki-san, I've got your back, and I'm not gonna lose to any Haijima mech.
And it shows Maki versus the puppet.
Dominions, let's play with our grown-up friends. La 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 la, la 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 la, kill them all. La 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 la, la 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 la, kill them all.
That's just how this lady's operating right now. But it's back to Shinra and Licht.
Where's Natako?
They said he was in the special care room. We need to get to Natako-san immediately. Shinra.
Yes, sir. I'm guessing he's that way.
As it shows Shinra rounding a corner in order to get where Natako is, one of the security guards gets launched past him. And we see that someone is sort of strangling Natako by the neck.
You know you shouldn't do that to the nice security guards.
Let go! Let go of me!
Why, you're late to the party.
As it shows Kuruno. Arthur is more like Don Quixote, that's why. Isn't that what Luis tried to be in Resident Evil 4. But we see Kurono holding Natsuko by the neck. And that's the end of chapter 136. Onwards to chapter 137. The Angel versus the Witch. And Tekio's flying through the air while it's trying to hit this little puppet that this lady has been using. And while it dodges one, it gets hit. And it's just like, it doesn't get hit. It doesn't get hit. Let me correct myself. It doesn't get hit. Tekio gets knocked away from it. Like, it just casually deflects it.
Wham! It deflected them?
And it shows Tekio aiming for the lady.
Again!
And as this lady's looking up, something flies up and knocks Tekio off of its flight pattern before it can hit the lady.
It shot at them?
And as Tekio's riding itself in the air, the same woman goes,
Let her rip once more! Poot Poot Blaster! Poot Poot Blaster?
and this puppet like lifts its legs up and goes, hop!
Hoo-hoo!
It puts his legs up and literally just farts this big old blast into the air. It's a puppet, mind you. It's a puppet. Why did you program a robot to do this? It just farts this big blast and knocks away Tekio.
That's disgusting. I do not want to get hit with that. Oh, but it's a big hit with the kiddies. You fire soldiers are supposed to be their heroes, and you didn't even know that. Dominions and I came running so we could keep the smiles on their faces. The children love their lives here. Don't you dare destroy that.
As she's holding this mechanical doll in front of her. We know you Haijima goons are abusing those kids. Love their lives here. You gotta be kidding me.
So what do you call those machines you made?
What?
I'm asking what their names are.
They're the twin hover units, Tekio.
What? That's a confusing name.
What do you mean, what?
I mean, children wouldn't understand a name like that. Let's see. Based on how they look, I would call them caterpillars. Aw, that's so cute. I love it.
And then Maki is agreeing with her. With Bakugo like, no way!
Why not? You said they just have to have an animal name.
You don't get it, Maki-san. The reason I named my mech after living things is to get the inanimate objects just that much closer to seeming alive. It's to give them what do you call it? Charm? Something like that. But Caterpillars is just wrong. It sounds way too much like a cartoon character. I do want people to love my mech, but they're still mech. So the name should establish a certain amount of distance. That's exactly why Tekio the Iron Owl is a perfect name. Plus, it sounds awesome.
Wow, what an annoying nerd. Yeah.
What? The fact that Maki's agreeing with her. Mech is deeper than that. It's not supposed to make sense right away. Anyone who calls a machine little guy or treats it like a pet would never understand. And those who give their mech girls names and call them cuties are just sickos. Super sickos!
What's wrong with giving them cute names? If you show your mech love, they'll love you back. Build a relationship of trust, and they'll perform better for you.
What a joke. What a joke, Haijima. Sounds too cultish. Gives me the creeps. Machines are nothing more than machines. You can't build a relationship of trust with them. You never know when they'll break down and betray all your expectations. That's why I'm constantly doing maintenance on them.
Humans will betray you just as easily.
Yeah, that's why it's important to build trust with people. And then we have Obi going, you two take care of her. We're gonna help Shinra and Licht. The members of Company 8 would never betray each other. We're here to get our friends back. And then this woman goes,
I don't think you quite understand me. It's not that I'm treating mech the same as humans. I'm just saying that humans are no better than machines, especially children.
As she sends her little mech flying towards him again. But then Tekio flies up and it just knocks it away.
What is that supposed to mean?
Goes Maki.
Entertain a child and they'll be happy. Give them a hard time and they get upset. They are as uncontrollable as they are predictable. Machine, child, it doesn't matter. They're all tools for the grown-ups.
And it shows Flare and Sputter as they're, clashing. clashing with this mech. Gotta go, don't know if you'll be back in time, but if not, I'll watch when I get back. Halster, you take care of what you need to take care of. You just being here was enough. But Flare and Sputter are fighting with the mech doll. And it looks like they got it dead to rights, but this mech is constantly deflecting them and even tossing them away.
It's swatting them off like a couple of flies.
Maki! I think she's a third-gen pyrokinetic. I think she's a third-gen pyrokinetic. I can't think of any other reason for that tiny bot to have that much power.
As it shows this little bot just swatting away Tekyo like it's nothing.
And if she has more power than we do, we don't stand a chance against her in a fight.
But I can't just sit back and let her treat children like tools. I've gotten some data on the enemy's caterpillars. Their power output is stable, and there's little variation in the strength of the flame. She appears to be a second-gen pyrokinetic, only controlling the flames, so my dominions have the upper hand after all.
And then Maki goes,
Isn't there anything we can do?
We can take a chance on Tekyo's max power twin attack.
I believe in you, Vulcan. Dominions and I win this one.
but then it shows Tekyo flying behind this woman.
Oh, look at that. You're just running away like shameless cowards.
But they fly right next to Maki.
Setting Tekyo, switching to firing mode. Switching to fire scene mode.
And then it cuts to Vulcan, who's reading all this data inside his visor.
Send hyperthermal power. Coupling all jet propulsion pathways. All ports now open.
Sunshine style. Launch stance. Ready.
Both units target locked on. Powering engines to full. Reaching maximum output in 3, 2, 1.
And it shows this woman who has like this big monitor that's next to her on the rooftops as she's analyzing Tekyo.
I can predict just how powerful your maximum output is going to be based on the data I've collected in the shape of your mech. Dominions and I are still guaranteed to win. In all my time babysitting children, I have not once been taken by surprise. You're no different than children. You're 100% predictable. Dominions, ready, poot poot! Hot, hoo-hoo!
And the robot gets ready. As Vulcan goes,
Fully charge! Whenever you're ready!
hold on, something got stuck to my pages there for a moment. My apologies.
Fully charge! Whenever you're ready!
Tekyo maximum output!
And Maki launches Tekyo at this lady.
90, 100. You tried harder than I expected, but you won't do any better than that. I'll just go ahead and nip this in the bud. Deadly Poot Poot Blaster!
Hot!
Hoo-hoo!
And her robot just shoots out this big old blast. And that's the end of chapter 137. Onwards to chapter 138, and this blast just hits directly towards Maki.
You tried harder than I expected, but it's over. You're going down.
And then it shows Tekyo going straight through the blast.
Counterfart!
And chapter 138, Trusting Hearts. And Tekyo is flying straight through the blast as Sputter goes,
Spottle, spottle.
flower, flower.
Good boy. Now keep it up and blow them out of the sky.
As it just shows this robot just constantly letting out this flatulent laser blast.
Sputter, Flare, you can do it!
And then she twists her arms around and Tekyo starts spinning.
Huh? Output 100? 110? 120? It's still going up? 150? This can't be right.
You're not fighting machines. You're fighting human beings.
And then it shows Maki taking this stance with her arms just like covering her face. And it has like it shadowed over, but her eyes are glowing.
I'm using Vulcan's mech. There's no way I can lose. Jai?
Or she just goes, oh, I thought it was going to be like a longer name, but it's like, it's just her just going,
guy!
Where are the pictures or manga panels? The guy, I'm not showing them because of copyright reasons. If you want to see where I'm seeing, just look up Fire Force chapter 138, and I'm pretty sure the internet will pull up plenty of images. But I don't show them due to me not wanting to get a copyright strike again. So I don't show them because of those reasons. But then Maki uses her Tekio and this Jai technique and completely destroys the robot in this massive fang over fang, corkscrew attack. And then it just shows Sputter and Flare, both Tekios just falling out of the sky because, they went over their limit. And then we have this woman again.
Where did those little bots get all that power?
And then Tekio falls right to the ground with Vulcan going to check on him.
That was awesome, Maki! Tekio did great too!
If you'd lost, you both would have been blown to smithereens. How could you take such a reckless risk? Do you mean to tell me you somehow calculated this outcome? It has nothing to do with calculations. It's all about trust.
Exactly. Mathematically, it wasn't possible. But I believed in Maki-san. I knew that with her spirit, Tekio could do better than anything the numbers said.
And I believed in Vulcan too. I believed in his strategy and in Tekio.
And then it just shows this woman standing there with, her puppet strings completely destroyed.
Wow. I actually am a little surprised.
And then she just jumps off the roof. She jumps off the roof as both Maki and Vulcan are just walking away. Don't you know you're not supposed to walk away from an enemy? Just because you destroyed their weapons don't mean they can't fight no more. Oh, Vulcan. Oh, Maki. Oh, no.
Let's go meet up with the others. We have to make sure Shinra, Licht, and Nataku are safe.
Right. We better hurry.
And then this lady just lands on the ground right behind them.
Just a minute now. Playtime isn't over yet.
And then Maki looks back at her with surprise as this woman puts on some very big and long gloves.
What makes you think you've won?
And then all of a sudden, she starts manipulating what looks to be like these big gloves that look like paws. And tons of those same robots. One of them was already enough for them to handle. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. And she's manipulating all of them all at once.
You're kidding!
It was hard enough trying to beat the one.
And why would you think there was only one? I've been calling them Dominions with an S, haven't I?
Then it cuts to Captain Obi.
Licht, where are you now? Licht, respond!
We're special care room, currently engaging Haijima personnel in battle.
What does the building look like? What does the building look like?
I'm sorry, there's not a lot of visibility right now, so I can't.
Bad visibility, goes Hanawa.
Go northwest from the crate.
There's so much interference. But it shows the rest of the team making their way through.
Shinra! Licht!
Then a door in front of them erupts into a massive smoke. And Arthur goes, "Smoke?"
Licht-san, get back!
Step aside. The man behind you looks weak. I want him first.
Sorry, I gotta read that again because I kind of burped there.
Step aside. The man behind you looks weak. I want him first.
As Kurono is trying to it kicks Shinra as he's trying to get to Licht.
Shinra, Licht, are you okay?
Captain! We found Nataku, but one of Haijima's men got to him first.
Company 8 soldiers.
Let me go! I didn't do anything wrong!
You have to do something! You have to fire yourself up! You have to! And you can! If anyone can, it's you! And this is Nataku having hallucinations of seeing Rekka again.
We know all about how you abuse the children. Let the boy go! Abuse it may be, but it's also my job.
Iris, get back!
As Kurono pays attention, and then he starts gulping, and then somehow his eyes, he squints his eyes, but his eyes are already weirdly shaped. He squints his eyes, and they turn into like crescent moon shapes, which is The way they look is just weird. And he just gulps and he goes,
I didn't realize there were such weak soldiers in the fire force.
and he throws a kunai at both Iris and Tamaki. But Arthur deflects it. But it explodes because it's also a smoke bomb. What the?
Don't breathe it in, Iris!
And then it shows Kurono in front of Iris and Tamaki. But Obi gets in between them before Kurono can do anything, going, Captain Guard!
You can try to defend your weaklings, but you're wasting your time.
How do you live with yourself?
Fight for the strong and crush the weak. That is the world I want to live in.
And then we have someone watching all this go down as it's...
Yes, they're all here. And there's the sixth pillar, just as I foresaw.
And who is it that shows up at this most inopportune of moments but Inca and Charon of the Evangelists? Okay. They're just there now. This just makes things a lot more complicated. But that was the end of chapter 138. Onwards to chapter 139, three-way battle. And while we see Company 8 facing off against Kurono, who still has Nataku by the throat, mind you, this whole time, Charon and Inca are watching everything go down.
There they are. What are you doing here, Charon? Shouldn't you be with Halmia?
I really should, actually. The pillars and their guardians are supposed to be a set. But Halmia got annoyed with me and told me to go away.
No, I know how she feels. There was a time I felt the same way about my dad. Actually, he died before I got over it.
I guess all girls get like that when they're at that age. What's a guy to do?
Still, that doesn't mean you have to follow me. Just find somewhere to wait until we need you.
You don't want me around either, Inca?
No, we don't, Charon-san.
As we get a new individual who shows up, and it's another member of the Evangelists who's oddly dressed up like a nurse. Like a nurse.
I will be protecting young Lady Inca. I, her guardian maid.
My bad, not nurse, but maid. But it's a all-white suit. And it's all white because this same person is on another volume that I have. And I think that's going to be volume 17. But this person, even though it's in black and white, she has blue hair, but her outfit is all white. And she's dressed up as a maid.
Come on, Ritsu. We're both guardians. You can protect the pillars we can protect the pillars together.
Shut up, Moron. Only my master can order me around.
Moron? Okay, Ritsu. You can take care of Inca. Which one's the next pillar?
The little brat under that guy's arm.
And they focus on Nataku. Have you mentioned how much you hate Inca? You have not. But now I know. And my lips feel extra chapped. My apologies, everyone. But as long as the audio is good, right? I really don't think I should be putting that Vaseline on my lips anymore because it makes my lips even more dry and flaky. So does anyone know what's a good lip balm to use? Like, what's a good brand? I actually need to know. It's a genuine question. If anyone knows, that would greatly help me out. Because I need to switch it up. I want my lips to remain luscious and soft and not crackly. Because half my job is me showing my face. And I hate for people to get distracted by chapped lips. But if anyone knows any good lip balm, just let me know.
Things are about to get fun again.
Time to take him back.
Charon smiles as he's prepared to join the fray at some point.
Stop being so rough with that boy!
This is your warning. If you're strong, leave the weak behind and get out of here.
And as he says this, Charon leaps in and tries to grab, Kurono.
The sixth pillar belongs to us!
And then it shows Kurono, who doesn't waste any time kicking Charon in the neck. And then he tries to make a sword. He tries to make a short dagger, like a short sword, out of smoke, going,
it didn't even faze him.
And he tries slashing Charon all over his body. But, we all know how tough Charon is. He's like a living Lunarian. Oh my god. Charon and King are the same. Charon and King from One Piece are the same. Both dark-skinned individuals. Both have white hair. Both have pyrokinetic abilities that attribute to them being extremely tough and almost impossible to damage. Oh my god, how did I not see that comparison? Okay, I'm sorry, my mind just broke because of that. King and Charon of King from One Piece and Charon of Fire Force would get along just fine. They have so much in common. Wow. Wow. Burt's Bees, unless that's what I'm using. No, what I have... It's just called Vaseline Lip Therapy. Helps heal dry lips. But when I put it on, after a certain amount of time, it leaves my lips not only cracked feeling, but also feeling like, you know, kind of flaky a little bit. But going back to it, Kudono slashes over Charon, and it does nothing. And then Charon goes, clap! And he claps, and there's an explosion that engulfs both Kudono and Nataku. But Nataku gets knocked away from Kudono. Grab the sixth pillar! And then the followers of Charon grab Nataku. Got him!
Ah! Let me go! Help me!
White Hoods, here. And it shows that the only thing that got messed up by Kudono on Charon was just that his clothes got slashes, but he himself is completely unscathed. And then Charon starts fighting Kudono. His skin is impervious to my blades? How is that even possible? As he's fighting, Charon.
Charon! You again?
We meet again, Fire Rat. I'm here to get the sixth pillar.
How do you know the Adola Burst would be here? Don't tell me it was Inca!
Hola!
You!
Let's watch all the people die again.
As Inca's just standing on the top of the roof.
It's not safe to lean out that far. You worry too much, Ritsu. There's no point getting so worked up over a little thing like that.
As she's looking out in the distance and she sees multiple pillars of light from points where fires are about to erupt someplace soon. Just like we saw earlier with Inca.
See? There's danger all around!
Then we cut back to Vulcan and Maki versus this puppeteer woman. How are we supposed to fight them all?
We might just have to run. Oh, don't be like that. Enjoy the puppet show with me.
And then someone puts their hand out and completely destroys every single one of this puppeteer woman's... someone sticks their hands out, and an electric signal goes flying out, and all of the puppets get destroyed.
Wow! Aw, my dominions! Your products are pretty crappy, Haijima.
As it shows that Haomiya has showed up.
I believe I could have attacked them from a distance, and you would not have had to risk the danger from such close proximity. Well, Arrow, today you're gonna protect me in place of your precious Shogun.
As it shows that we have a whole bunch of people from the White Clads here. We got Charon, we got Inca, we got Ritsu, we got Haomiya, and now we have Arrow as well. The White Hoods? That electricity user is bad news. We better get Arthur over here or we could be in trouble. And then the puppeteer woman is looking silently and she goes,
Aw, no. She beat them so extremely easy. Puppets, strings. We're here to get our sixth pillar Nataku, and we don't want anybody getting in our way. So I'm just gonna take you out before you get a chance, Kay? It's not nice at all to break other people's things. You are a naughty girl. Oh, look, the old bat's getting mad at me. You're an old bat, Arrow. You talk to her.
I'll take care of things here. Oh wait, this is Maki going,
I'll take care of things here. Vulcan, you go get Arthur.
I'll leave Tekio with you. They need some time to cool down before they can start up again.
I guess playtime is over. This girl needs to be taught a painful lesson.
Goes the puppeteer woman as she goes,
Come here, baby! My disciplinary dominion!
and it shows a very large dominion flying up right behind this woman. And the thing that sets this one apart is that not only does it have long, lanky arms, but it has spikes along the arms, and the tips of its fingers are covered in, extended with claws.
All those stretchy bits.
And that's the end of chapter 139. Onwards to chapter 140, A Woman's Battle. And fire is just breaking out everywhere as this puppeteer woman goes,
In the name of the sun god, I'll punish you!
as this disciplinary dominion launches at Haumia. And she tries to launch an electric signal at it, which just bounces off and does nothing.
What the what? It didn't work? You're using an insulator?
And then it tries to go for Haumia, but an arrow, a fiery arrow, gets shot off and deflects the hand away. And it was Arrow who shot the arrow.
Haumia, get back!
You stay out of this.
Goes the puppeteer woman. Then Arrow launches another shot, which gets deflected by Maki. And in the process, her hat gets knocked off of her head.
When did you...
And it shows Maki just not only blocking Arrow's arm, but also unleashing a couple of blows and hitting her in the face as well. And Arrow can't do anything about it.
This is too much. I must get some distance so she'll keep the advantage.
And then it shows Maki constantly progressing forward, walking forward, still trying to still punching her, while Arrow continues to proceed backwards, keeping up with her.
She matches me stride for stride. Wait, she matches me stride for stride. I can't get away.
This isn't Maki thinking this. This is Arrow thinking this, because Maki will not let her get any more distance.
No, it's worse than that. She's overtaking me.
And before she knows it, Maki has her in a lock and proceeds to judo throw her solidly onto the ground.
Huh? What are you doing, Arrow? You are seriously such a pathetic loser.
And Haumia launches an electric signal which separates Maki and Arrow from each other. And then when Arrow gets back up,
I am sorry.
And you call yourself a guardian?
A pillar and their guardian are meant to be buddies. Commander Sho and myself, you and Charon. We were matched to each other based on compatibility, but you rearranged the pairings. That is why we are out of sync.
then all of a sudden, Arrow finds her clothes being completely blown off. Not all the way, but enough for you to notice how thick Arrow is by Haumia's signals.
All right, then. Let's be friends. I'll give you a nice full-body vibrating massage.
As she's just unleashing these signals onto Arrow to the point where it's like debilitating her, where she can't move. And, Haumia is just holding her in this position, this almost provocative position, if you will. And she's just shocking, just putting Arrow through shock therapy, if you will. With the puppet woman going,
It looks like there's electricity coursing through her body.
If we get too close, we'll get zapped too.
and then Arrow gets thrown to the floor.
I don't want any of your excuses, Arrow. If you can't protect me, I'll kill you. Excellent. My generator is all warmed up now. I'm going to like punishing you.
Goes the puppeteer woman. And then we cut to Maki.
If the White Hoods are at Haijima, they're probably here to get the Adola Burst. So should we team up with Haijima so we only have one enemy at a time?
Charon will get the 6 pillars soon enough. So wipe that gloomy look off your face, Arrow. And let's go crazy!
And then it shows Vulcan driving like this tri bike, or this tri vehicle, going, if that electric woman uses her toxic brainwaves, we're done! The plasma density is going up over the whole area. I better hurry! Arthur, where are you? And then it cuts to Charon, who goes, walk! And then everyone gets engulfed in this explosion as Charon stomps the ground and the whole place explodes. Then Hinawa shoots at Charon and his bullet hits him in the head, but it doesn't do anything as Hinawa is blasted back by Charon's snap. And then it has Shinra standing in the smoke.
Where's Nataku?
Stop struggling. Let me go! Then it cuts to Kuruno, who's rushing with 2 blades in both his arms. That's right. The child is over there. You villains can fight each other over him. What? You're coming this way? As it shows Kuruno speeding towards Arthur. And Arthur immediately deflects Kuruno because Kuruno is still aiming for Iris and Tamaki. Get out of my way. I want to have the feeble ones first.
Hey, don't you care about Nataku?
I thought I told you I prefer to fight weak opponents whenever I can. And the whole place is being engulfed in smoke and fire as Ritsu and Inka look on.
What would you like to do? Shall we join the battle? Wait a little first, Ritsu. There are going to be casualties soon. Then you won't have any trouble finding material. Thanks to your wonderful powers, I've never been able to use mine so freely.
As it shows Ritsu standing in what looks to be like a graveyard and weird hands stretching towards her. Then it shows Kuruno fighting Arthur, Charon fighting Shinra and everyone else, and Obi going, how did it turn into this mess? Shinra, get Nataku!
Yes, sir.
Well, let's go, goes one of the followers of Charon.
You're not going anywhere.
And then Inka.
Danger, danger. The danger will kill you. Show them, Ritsu. Show them the black magic that makes people your toys.
And that's the end of chapter 140. Onwards to chapter 141. After this, we only got one more chapter, and then we're done. Chapter 141, Keep Away. Arthur, Kuruno, still fighting. Confound you! And then Kuruno stops fighting. You're not very easy to fight, are you? And then he just looks off to the side and goes, isn't there anyone more my speed?
Let me go! Let me go! Somebody!
And then Kuruno looks in the direction of where Nataku is, and he looks like he just turns into smoke, and he surrounds all of these followers in it. He surrounds all of these followers in it with Soul Eclipse. And the smoke gets into their nostrils. I don't feel so good. So hot. What's this black smoke? As these men burn from... Wow. I forgot he did this. Let my scorching soot burn you from the inside out. And he makes this burning smoke go inside of their bodies and just burn them from the inside out. Beautiful weakness. Then it shows Inka and Ritsu still at the top of the roof, and Nataku trying to crawl away from everything. Then it shows Captain Obi picking up Nataku. I got him! There's nothing to worry about now, Nataku. And then all of a sudden, Charon just snatches Nataku away from Captain Obi. Hello, little six-pillar. Now don't leave my side. Got it? And then it shows that Nataku has been replaced with a teddy bear in Charon's hands as Kuruno has taken him. That's an educational toy bear. The boy belongs to Haijima. Bear? And then it shows Arthur and Shinra taking Nataku from Kuruno.
Gotcha! Stay out of this, Arthur. I got him.
Silence, devil. You're scaring the boy. Then it shows Inka using her powers to draw a line and cause an explosion that separates Nataku, Shinra, and Arthur all at once. And Nataku goes flying through the air.
Oh no!
Then someone steps in, and it shows Kuruno, Captain Obi, and Charon making their way to try and grab Nataku all at once. And Hinawa goes, rebound! And Captain Obi catches Nataku, but he gets knocked away by Charon, who catches Nataku by the head. he literally catches Nataku by the head, like holding him upside down by the head, just perfectly like that. Even as a child, you probably shouldn't be holding a child like that. That's a foul!
Come and get it. I dare you.
As he's tossing Nataku through between his hands like he's a basketball. I might be wrong. There might not be another chapter after this. Yeah, it was just, this is the last chapter. I did say chapters 133 all the way down to 141, so this is the last chapter. Here I thought I was getting it all nice and good. But Nataku's getting tossed in between Kudono, Charon, and Captain Obi. Press him, just like in practice. We can do this, just one at a time.
This does seem to be top-grade material. Now all I need is an infernal to use as a base. And that human there will work nicely.
As Ritsu walks over to a security guard.
I'll make you big and strong.
As she holds up a bug directly towards this security guard.
Huh? An infernal?
And it shows the security guard going full infernal, and then Ritsu raises her hand.
Necropyro.
As she causes every single person that was killed by Kudono and turned into a charred corpse for them to suddenly get back up again. She's literally a pyrokinetic necromancer.
The corpses are standing up?
Yeah, that power is pretty morbid.
And this is coming from Charon. And then they all start to mesh into each other, like they're starting to meld into one another.
The dead guys are attacking the infernal! Oh, dear God.
As it shows like a tendril emanate and catch Nataku and drag him into this mass. And it turns into like this massive, top-heavy infernal, misshapen infernal, with fire emanating from its shoulders and the bottom of its back, with Nataku caught right in the middle of it. And Ritsu is manipulating the whole thing.
Come to me, great fiery infernal.
As it shows Nataku just completely helpless.
It's a giant infernal.
And this is Captain Obi.
There was an outbreak of giant infernals all over Tokyo. That was from her power? How dare she treat corpses like playthings?
I used a trained fighter for a base this time, so this one is stronger than those defects from before.
And then it cuts to Kudono, who's on the phone.
Kudono speaking. President Haijima. Yes. I was starting with the weaker ones. Stupid? Me, sir? Yes. The Adola Burst boy has been absorbed into an infernal that looks rather strong. Yes. So I was going to start with the weaker... Yes. Stupid? You mean me, sir? Yes, I understand. Goodbye.
And then he clicks his phone. That's the whole conversation that Kudono is going through talking to the president.
It's not easy being a company man. This is no time for Haijima and Company A to be quarreling. We must get Nataku back. Allow me to help.
Much to the surprise of Shinra. To be continued in Volume 17. We got some translation notes, and then we can call it a session. Translation notes! The Truth of the Sandbox, page 27. Here, the word sandbox is a reference to a box full of sand that children play in, as well as a translation for hakoniwa, which literally means box garden, and refers to a miniature garden or diorama, usually kept in a box. The term hakoniwa is often used in fiction to describe an isolated community. Right eclipse. Even though it says right hand eclipse in the page with Kudono earlier. Right eclipse. In his attacks, Kudono uses the word shoku, which is the Japanese word for eclipse. It is written with the same character as for mushibamu, a word that means to eat away. Dominions, page 83. True to her angel belt buckle, this Haijima employee prefers to name her dominions after ranks of angels. According to the Colesti Hierarchia, the according to De Coelesti Hierarchia, a book on the celestial hierarchy, dominions are the highest rank of the second or middle sphere of angels. Sanchin style launch stance. Sanchin, page 102. Sanchin means 3 battles or 3 conflicts, is a stance or kata in karate. It is the most basic stance in Okinawan style karate and promotes stability and strength. Jai, page 111. In this stance, Maki's choice of words for her kiai shout, see volumes 4 for notes, and cause notes for say, because, this is something Benimaru was doing as well, sounds remarkably like the Hindi word Jai, meaning victory. In India, Jai Bhim is used as a greeting, and it means roughly victory to Bhim. The phrase is commemorative of Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar, a social reformer who campaigned against discrimination and supported the rights of women and laborers. To someone unfamiliar with the spelling of the phrase, it may sound like the speaker is about to fire a beam of some sort. And then lastly, Great Fiery Infernal, page 183. When summoning this massive creature, Ritsu uses an incantation similar to one used by Wataru Toki and Kiyomi Himekuri and Yato Detaman, a classic anime from 1981. Wataru and Koyomi, summon a robot named Dai Kyojin, which means Great Giant God. As further evidence that Ritsu is a fan, instead the usual word for infernal, Homurabito, the incantation uses the alternate pronunciation of Enjin, which is more closely resembles Kyojin. And that is the end of the translation notes and the end of volume 16. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow we will reach the halfway mark of my entire Fire Force series, and I will have my game review for 2023 completely done before this upcoming Saturday, so expect it before then. And I just want to say thank you for enjoying me reading Fire Force for all of you. I really do love this. And for those of you who took part in my community posts where I was asking you guys what would you like to, enjoy your time here on this channel, thank you for your suggestions. I'm taking them into consideration and going to be doing some of those things in order to make this channel a lot more varied going into 2024. January is going to be busy for me because we not only have the solo leveling anime, but we also have the new next DLC pack for One Piece Pirate Warriors 4, and for us deluxe edition orders, people who pre-ordered Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, we're going to be able to play that game on the 30th instead of the 2nd of February. So January is going to be incredibly fun and incredibly busy for me, but I cannot wait. So I just want to say thank you for all of your support, whether you're just watching, whether you're liking everything that I do, or commenting, or sharing this with other people, so even more people, and trust me, I've noticed a significant growth in the amount of people who are subscribing to the channel. I just want to say thank you for giving me this opportunity. Everything you've shown me, whether it was, just like support, emotional support, or even financially, I just want to say thank you. It really does mean the world to me that you guys believe in my vision and see me as a person worthy of your time. It really does mean the world to me. But I'm done. I got to take care of these lips because they distracted me the entire time I was reading. I'm gonna see about getting some other lip balm because this Vaseline I'm using just ain't doing it. It ain't doing it for me. But I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you all. Well, first of all, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, subscribe, even become a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!